Hey, it's Frank.
And Anthony.
And we're with Rodeo Rewind, and today we have not a rodeo episode, but we have an adventure episode. It was a great adventure. It was on our western trip this summer in Cheyenne, Wyoming. And Anthony, you want to tell us a little bit about this awesome experience?
So, in Cheyenne, they have a chuck wagon competition. If you're ever there, check it out. You buy a ticket, and you get to go to every single chuck wagon.
Yep.
And they have ingredients they have to cook.
Mm-hmm.
And so you try everyone, and then you vote on your favorite. Can you explain a little bit what chuck wagons work?
So the chuck wagon, it would go out during the cattle drives, and the
transfer is west.
Yes, and what the cook did is the cook was not only a cook, but the cook was also the dentist and the barber, and they made sure that...
And they were the judge.
They were the judge. They made all the disputes go away.
Also, if there were disputes or somebody disrespected them, they just wouldn't get as much food then.
Probably wouldn't get as much food, maybe the burnt end. So, but it was great. We had a chance to visit with, three wonderful people from two different teams, and we're just going to hang out with you, and we're going to join us at the chuck wagon table here in the kitchen. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So we're still in Cheyenne at one of the chuck wagons for the old frontier town, and we're here with some of the people who run them. And so can we just go around the table and introduce ourselves?
What is the official term? Are you cooks? Are you chefs? What is the official term that we should use?
It's chuck wagon cooks.
Chuck wagon cooks. Yeah. So,
I am Susan Patrick, and I am from near Watertown, South Dakota.
I'm Tom Ray, and I'm from Pampa, Texas.
Kevin Romans, and I'm from Pampa, Texas.
and I'm your dad, and I'm on every episode.
You have questions?
Yeah. So I was started when we were visiting. I was asking about how do you keep control of the heat, right? Because I think when we have a grill, we kind of understand it, and when we have knobs, right, for a gas grill, and my smoker, I understand how that's going to operate really well. But this is like living; it's Mother Nature in you.
Yeah.
So how do you go about managing that temperature?
You usually have a hot side and a cooler side, and you can slide your skillet, and then just not put too much wood on at one time.
That'll get you in trouble.
Yeah, that'll get you in trouble.
Is it? And how is it possible to alter temperature during the cooking process, or not really? Oh, she's bringing over. So you can't really alter it during the process.
Just not take a shovel and scoop out some of your coals and stuff.
I'm just bringing this in as a prop because most of our cooking as Dutch oven cooks, as chuck wagon cooks, is done using a Dutch oven.
And that's really
legs on the bottom, and it has a lid on the top, and you preheat it. And so when you ask about temperature, that's how you create your oven, just like you do your oven at home.
We use cast iron all the time. Like we rarely, outside of cooking eggs, do not bring out a non-stick pan, and we use cast iron for everything. We make pizza in a cast iron pan. Yeah.
And so, what kind of food do you cook here, and where do you prepare it?
We prepare it right here.
So right on
We
this
can
table?
cook anything in this Dutch oven that you can cook in your oven at home. But
are there typical things that would just be like we would typically see in a chuck wagon?
I do a lot of cinnamon rolls.
Cinnamon rolls.
He does.
And bread, and your cobblers and stuff, you bake it in there. Now, if we're having chicken fried steak, we're just frying in the skillet, over the open fire.
And that's man. Once those, they don't lose heat quick at all.
No.
I mean, so frying I'd be scared to fry.
No, you wouldn't.
No.
You just watch it. If it gets too hot, you may have to completely pull it off of the fire, for a while, or like I say, spread your fire out to where it's, you just kind of learn by doing.
Sometimes you just move it completely out of the way, just like you would your gas if you have a gas stove and the burner. You shut the burner off. Well, you can't shut the burner off here, but you can move it.
Yeah.
You move the burner
It'll
or
still-
you move the
Right,
burner.
It'll
yeah,
still be
okay.
warm and
Right.
you can still get a little cook.
So there's competitions, I'm guessing, or so do they give you what you're gonna? Do they determine what you're gonna cook and what the ingredients are, or do you get to do some of that?
They furnish all the ingredients, that way everybody's on
The same page.
the same page. And then it's just a difference in the spices and sometimes how you prepare it a little bit.
What is the most challenging ingredient you were ever given in a competition? You're smiling. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. You go ahead. You've been doing this a lot longer than I have.
I don't know, you know, they brought us fresh apples. We'd have to go with that way. Or, you know, like up here, they'll swap it up. They'll have blueberries. I don't think we've ever done peaches up here, have we?
Not fresh.
No.
I was just gonna ask about grilling peaches on a grill. Is that possible? Like how would you grill like a peach on the
You'd have to have a grate or something to put
Okay.
on it. But you could grill some on it.
Yeah.
Anthony and I cook all the time, so we love to cook, right?
And so
Sorry.
That's all right. You can take.
what can everybody go around and tell us what's your favorite ingredient to cook with in a competition?
Well, I'll bust in just because we just got approved the other night to add oatmeal to our potential cobbler toppings, which
Okay.
I really like to use oatmeal. I love oatmeal, and it's never been allowed out here before. And I think it adds a richness, and it certainly is period appropriate. And when you get it with butter and brown sugar, I just love it. I just love it. So that would be mine.
Oh my, Kevin is the cook on this wagon. He's the one that mixes everything and fixes. I'm kind of the helper that keeps the fires going and
Hugely important.
put the coals where they need to and check to see how things are cooking and stuff. But Kevin is the one that mixes
you know, I
most
don't
of the
know.
ingredients. So.
Like I say, I do cinnamon rolls everywhere we go, and everybody really likes them and stuff.
How do you not like a cinnamon roll? I mean, it's probably criminal to not like a cinnamon roll.
And then we do a good bread pudding. You know, this is out of the ballpark, but 3 years ago we came up here and brought a goat. We cooked the goat on the spit. Well, then the next year we brought a whole pig, cooked him on a firebox kind of deal, but we had him on the spit too.
Is that challenging? Because like everything's gonna want to cook a little different, right? You got like your shoulders and the things that move around a lot. They're gonna have a lot of like connective tissue, and they're gonna take longer, right?
Yeah, and we'd never done it, so I mean. But then this year we cooked an alligator. We smoked an alligator.
All right. So did you like alligator? I mean, I lived in Louisiana. I do not dig the gator. It tastes like plant to me. Like it tastes like what they're eating. Like
The piece I got was kind of rubbery.
rubbery. Yeah.
I enjoyed it. You know, it had a slight fish taste to
Yep.
it, I almost want to say, but it was really tender.
Mm-hmm.
You could easily say it tastes like chicken with a little fish on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good. I never had it, and it was good.
You know, it was good, but and it was probably just the piece I got, but it was kind of chewy.
The darker colored was rubby, more, Jim said,
Yeah.
more rubbery.
I'm gonna guess that when people see a gator cooking, they're stopping.
Yeah,
There's gonna be questions for sure about a gator.
Pull the bottom out because it's crooked.
That would be I would have to stop and ask about the gator.
I don't know. We kind of pick something off the wall every now and then to do
That's neat.
up here.
So what woods do you like? What you're cooking on a fire? What woods do you use? Like what?
Oh, that's a great question, because when they come from Texas, they bring mesquite, because that's what they use when they're home. And when we come from South Dakota, we don't have mesquite in South Dakota. And at least at this point, they haven't, stopped us from hauling wood across state lines, which, don't put this on, cut this part out. But it's nice to have the wood you're accustomed to, because you know then how to regulate your heat a little bit better.
And you know how it'll burn.
Exactly right. So we would have ash more than likely,
Okay.
because that's a nice hardwood that is plentiful for us that we're used to.
And so,
That, you know, for frying, you can use any kind of wood, pine or something, but when you get to using the
And you don't have to worry about the, like pine, isn't it? Leave something.
You don't notice it in your,
Okay.
in your
Well,
meat or
you
anything.
know what we used to burn all the time is pinyon, right? Because we're
But
all over Louisiana.
You want hardwood if you're
Yep.
cooking here, so you can have good coals.
Coals, it stay a long
And
time.
then it's going to depend on. Now, you know, you'd have to use a few more coals because there's no wind. But if you've got
Sure.
if you've got a little bit of wind and fanning them coals, it
They
just
go
it
fast.
go in a hurry.
Yeah.
It gets hot, really hot.
and so what's the seasoning that you most
Oh
commonly
yeah, but because I'm guessing
What
because of
season?
time, right? Time period. What were they use, or can you use anything you want? Are there no rules? Okay.
You're supposed to actually use just salt and pepper.
Oh.
You can use some seasonings that was period.
So like,
Paprika.
Paprika,
That's pretty boring.
what, maybe chili powder.
Okay.
like
And,
can you use any like peppermint or like
Oh, like herbs.
herbs? Or
I would guess
anything?
herbs, right? If it
Oh,
was.
yeah. And so, legitimately, fresh herbs would be available depending upon what trail you happen
Oh,
to
yeah.
be
Right.
on,
Yeah.
you know. But they don't see them. So if they're
Yeah.
dried, they'll never know.
If so, historically, was the chuck wagon personnel, were they popular or unpopular? Because I know,
Yes.
like, because the food person, right, on the military base, sometimes popular,
Uh,
sometimes unpopular. My uncle was a baker in the Navy, right?
A good cook, they took care of him. He was paid more than anybody else on
yeah.
the truck.
Keep everybody healthy and happy, right?
But he was also the dentist, the
Oh,
barber.
okay.
He was the dad, because
Hey,
many of
yeah.
the crew, they were
Mhm.
young guys
Yeah.
who were able to just take off and go. So he sometimes was quite
He did.
cantankerous.
So the chuck wagon cook did a lot more than just cook.
So, Anthony,
Yeah.
not only did we visit with these
No.
wonderful people, but you had a chance to eat some of their food. Want to tell us about that? I mean, they were so hospitable. They fed you.
Yeah. So I actually had a chance to talk to. After we talked to them, I had a chance to eat some food.
What did
So-
they feed you?
One of the teams gave me a beef lasagna and sausage and beef, and it was pretty good.
It looked amazing. I couldn't eat it, but
You have a gluten allergy.
I have a gluten allergy.
And I have a nut allergy, which brings us to our next question.
So
What was the other team's specialty that they offered?
the other team's big specialty was cinnamon rolls,
With pecans and
pecans
raisins.
and raisins in it, and it seems to be the big crowd pleaser all the time.
Everybody seems to enjoy
And
it.
it seems like every one of them made coffee over a fire. Too.
Oh yeah.
So
And while we were walking by, some people actually were asking, like, "Oh, is the coffee still warm?" Because
Yeah.
we were doing this in the evening, right before the Kid Rock,
yep.
which we didn't go to.
Yeah.
We were leaving, so there wouldn't be anybody on the bus. But so people were heading to that, and they probably just wanted a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So that was interesting to see people interact with them. That was a great interview. Join us next week where we'll be doing part 2 of that. And also, if you're going to watch next week and the week after, and if you will be a recurring person,
Yeah.
please help us out and subscribe. It's free.
And like it.
And
Give us a thumbs
like it.
up.
Oh, and also we'd love to hear from you. What do you like about today? What do you like about it? What do you want to see from us? Who
Yeah.
do you want to see from talking with us?
Yeah.
We have a bunch of stuff planned for the next month.
And I think we have maybe 2 more rodeo events we might hit before the snow falls.
One more for you.
One more.
2 more for you. One
Yeah,
more
one
for
more
me.
for Anthony. So we're gonna do our
And
best to
yeah,
get
so-
some more, and then get ready for our first winter
Yeah,
indoor rodeo.
next week is part 2, so go get that. See you next week.
Next week.